Aloha, dear hearts. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Victoria here. I'm coming to you on close to what would be the equinox. We're actually preparing for it right now. Most years it's on the 21st, but this year it happens to be on the 23rd. Late hours of the 22nd, early hours of the 23rd. So that's basically when the new moon in Libra is. And so we celebrate the equinox when there's the equal amount of day and night in the year. I talked about this a little bit in some of my other videos and readings. So as we utilize this time of balance, it's a good time to take inventory of your life and see where you're at. Because right now, as we've already moved through the active time of the year, which is the time from the spring through the summer, that's considered the active time, the producing time, the sometimes masculine time, but then sometimes it's considered feminine in the way that you're blossoming and harvesting the fruit and making the fruit. And so right now, at this time of the equinox, we're in our harvest time and we're picking those fruits. And actually today we're in the second harvest. We've already had the first harvest. There's 3 harvests. And the second harvest is more of a maternal harvest, looking at all the things, the bounty that has come into your life, and acknowledging it and being grateful for it, and then also what you're releasing that didn't come to fruition, and kind of like picking off the dried fruit from a tree that's no longer going to grow, but rather it's going to dry up. So you're going to pick it off and let it go back into the earth so that the tree can now produce new fruit for next year. It could save all its energy, go back into itself, and prepare for next year. Now the third harvest is at Samhain, which is what mainstream knows as Halloween. And that is the harvest, not to sound morbid, but the harvest of the dead, which you're going to let go of. Who's leaving? Who's deciding it's time to go? It's when the veils are most thin. So, at this time of second harvest, it's also the same time of the equinox. Very close. We're like a day apart. That falls around the same time. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the equinox. So going into the autumnal equinox, which is one of my favorite times of the year. I love autumn. I love the leaves changing. I love the cool wind blowing. I love to see the fields full of pumpkins. My birthday's also in autumn. And that going into that dark time of the year. Also the celebration, Halloween, of Samhain, of All Saints Day, Day of the Dead. When we honor those who have passed on. When we honor our ancestors. You can honor your ancestors anytime, but the time of when the veils are the thinnest in the autumn is Samhain. So we move forward towards that time, and then we move forward towards the winter solstice, where the night is the longest and the day is the shortest. And symbolically, this is a time where we go inward. And it could be literally too. A lot of people that are especially are in places on the earth where it's more extreme, the weather's more extreme, the light is less. You can't help but almost go inward. Now, I don't live in a place like that. I live close to the equator. I live in Hawaii. We don't get a lot of the seasons here. I do miss the fall a lot. So, any chance I get to go back to the mainland during the fall season or the winter season, I embrace. Because I do love it. So, even if you don't live in an area where the seasons are reflecting that, our internal clocks reflect that. So, being aware of that, you may notice some shifts in your own feelings, behavior, thoughts. Your body starts to feel different. It's a natural course of nature. And I want to read to you something that I found as I was reading through some of my books. I like to read you different things throughout the year. And as you know, I've read a couple other blessings and phrases and meditations. Now this one I'm pulling from one of my calendars. It's called the Wee Moon Calendar, Gaia Rhythms, for women, but it could be for anybody. And it's called Autumn Equinox. The mother sun shines directly on the equator again and dances our day and night into balance. Since summer solstice, the hours of daylight have been greater than the hours from dusk to dawn. For the rest of the wheel of the year, the reverse holds true. In this final harvest, we have finished old projects and dreams. And in this book, it's saying final harvest, but it being the second, think of it as the second harvest. Trees releasing their leaves to show us how to let go. Before turning from summer and facing winter, we reflect on what we are reaping, especially as a human family. We actively seek and uphold that which is positive. The rhythm of the solar wheel suggests rest. We slow down to gently observe, absorb, and rejoice in Gaia. During the transition called autumn, when we celebrate both bounty and impermanence, we reflect that Gaia too is impermanent. How much time does she have? Yet she asks us for trust, even given the alarms that surround us. We and the world flare in brief brilliance and embrace the first footsteps of darkness. Now this darkness they're talking about is moving into this dark time of the season, moving into that internal side of yourself, life. There's a vision that when you come to summer solstice, and in some traditions you hold that summer solstice vigil, the one in the darkest time of the night, you have that one spark, that one flame that is left, and you hold on and you focus on that one spark of light in the darkness, and that carries you through the darkest of times, the darkest of winter, into the light again. Now we're not there yet, but that is the direction we're going in. And it's not something to be feared, because some people think that sounds really morbid, but it's part of the natural cycles. Without that dark space, we would not have the bright brilliance of the summer, when the sun is in its height, in its power. So you have those two extremes. And of course, the goal is to bring them into a unity, into equilibrium, which is where we're at right now. And we're moving into the sign of Libra. Libra being the sign of balance and the scales. Now Libras are always doing their best to bring balance to their life. Their scales move a lot like this, but if you steady them, you can bring that balance. Constantly adjusting though. I'm a Libra, I know this. Also, Libra is a sign associated with justice, the great goddess Ma'at in the Egyptian anthology. So that could be a symbol of meditation if you feel so desired. Lastly, I pulled a card from Egyptian pantheon, the Isis oracle cards, the great goddess Isis. Here's what it looks like on the box. And the card that I pulled, perfectly enough, is a card having to deal with that going into the dark side of the year. And it's proper burial for freedom. Sacrifice of Osiris, Lord of the Dead. Now that may sound kind of morbid to you, but it's not. The idea of Osiris going through a death and then he comes back to life also reflects us going through an internal death or us letting things go that no longer serve us, so that we can create space for new things that serve us, serve our life, therefore serving the life of the greater whole of the planet. So, proper burial for freedom. In order for life to flow and express itself, that which belongs to the world of death must be released. There is nothing to be gained and everything to be lost by trying to hold on to that which no longer serves us, which is better left to die, though it takes great spiritual courage and trust to allow this to happen. Osiris, Lord of the Dead, guides you to now release that which no longer needs to be part of your life so that you may be free. Now, Lord of the Dead is someone who has conquered death and that has rebirth. So, you need to see something through and let go so that you are free from it. You may or may not be fully aware of what this is, but your energy field is somehow haunted by the past or drained by the attachments that are no longer necessary for your growth. This could be anything from a past relationship to dreams or visions that may have encouraged you in past times, but are not relevant for where you are going now. It might also be the spirit of a lost child or loved one, someone that has passed on or left your life, or the ghost of expectations unmet from past hopes and dreams. There is so much beauty and fullness waiting for you right now, beloved initiate. There is no need to further hold on to the past. Do not be scared. You are supported so utterly and completely in this deep healing. Release now, and all involved will benefit from the healing change. It is not abandoning what you have loved to give it full and proper burial. It is in fact honoring and allowing what you are releasing to return to the pure love and light of the source. It is spiritual freedom for you and what you have released, which is the destiny to which all of life will eventually return. It takes great trust, but if you will allow Osiris to help you, you will realize that in letting go, rebirth and growth is really possible. You may experience grief, anger, fear, freedom, and the sense of relief or a combination of these feelings as you move to let go and allow proper burial to take place. Do not be afraid of any of these feelings, for they will pass naturally when allowed to just flow. These feelings will actually fertilize new life and allow you to become more of who you are in truth. Trust that Osiris will love and protect that which is released into his care. Through the world of death, death too becomes new life. There is nothing to fear and everything to gain. Now, death is one of those subjects that some people don't feel comfortable talking about. So, if this is something that you're not ready to do, then, feel free to go ahead and leave and bless us and go on. But if this is something that you feel like you've been yearning for and a release, either, from someone that has passed on, that you feel that you need that healing for, a release and healing, or for something in your life, maybe symbolically, that you've let go of, that you need that release and healing for, then you can go ahead and continue on and listen to the ceremony meditation for this. And if you want to listen to it and not do it, that's fine too, but it's beneficial for you to actually think of something that you are releasing right now, or that you've released in the past, but you still haven't felt the full clearing and freedom of. Okay? So, you will need a quiet room, a small candle, a tea light is fine, a comfortable seat. Sit quietly and close your eyes, focusing on your breathing, taking your awareness into your heart, going deeper within your heart with each breath until you become aware of vast open space in all directions of you. Say aloud, I call upon the Lord Osiris, who loves me unconditionally, to cast your unconditional loving care that which no longer naturally belongs in the land of the living. Stay in your heart and become aware of a beautiful man with a rich green light all around him, showing new life and growth. He holds a crook and flail in each arm and wears an ornate crown. His eyes are kind. As you light your candle, say, I now call forth that which is attached to my energy field and does not serve me in unconditional love. I now choose of my own free will to harmoniously cast into the loving care of Osiris all attachment, mysterious beliefs, and beings of any influence that are not aligned with unconditional love and my highest good. I release you now through all time and space with love and respect. Go in peace. You may not return to me ever. Our contracts are now dissolved, and I set you free harmoniously. I set myself free harmoniously. So be it. Let yourself be at peace. If you feel emotion or surprise as different impressions register in your body or mind, just let them flow without attachment. You may feel fear, anger, sadness, or grief arising and leaving your body. You may temporarily feel confusion, nausea, waves of regret, or pain as energies leave. Do not concern yourself. Stay with the process and know that you are supported. One thing that you can use also is the violet flame. This is the transmutation flame, and you could see these feelings, energies moving into the violet flame. And you can also see yourself surrounded by the violet flame as a tool of transmutation and purification. Close your eyes and perceive Osiris receiving the light of the candle into his own heart with love and compassion. His heart is vast, and he can receive so much energy, so much old energy and pain from you. Simply taking it into his heart and letting it burn in the sacred fire of his heart chakra, or like I was saying, in the violet consuming flame, the violet flame of transmutation. Once the candle is dry, stay with this process until you feel it is completed to your satisfaction. Then open your eyes and blow out the candle. Once the candle is dry, you may dispose of it completely as an offering to Osiris. With thanks for his divine service, your healing ritual is complete. And then there's a little prayer here that I'll read to you that you can also say if you'd like. Maybe I'll try to write this up for you. Osiris, master of love and peace, bring my soul the light of relief. Through unconditional love and a heart that is true, I release that which should be returned to you. I surrender all not of unconditional love to your peaceful heart, pure as the dove. I am free from that which no longer lives. New life and healing you now give. To that which is due burial, proper and right, we are free now to grow with the light. I am free to move on now thanks to you with unconditional love and compassion too. So, that being said, there is your equinox sharing and the reading. And again, this is the card. Proper burial for freedom. It's pretty cool. And you see that it has the light and the dark, and then the center balance too. Anyhow, I'm wishing you guys a wonderful equinox and start to this autumnal season. As we move into the Libra, we're having the new moon, like I was saying on, I think, Monday? Yeah, Monday. And early hours Monday, I believe it is. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So happy new moon, write out your intentions and what you're releasing. And remember, when you release stuff harmoniously, you open space. So then you write your intentions so that you're filling that space with your intentions, not with whatever is floating by in the universe, okay? Focus. Your focus in life and where we're going and where you want to do, what you want to do and where you want to go. So, many blessings and much love, and I will see you next time. I think I'm going to put up some Halloween decorations. I'm starting to get in the spirit. So, alright, much aloha. Blessings.